Hi, hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Kayla. I create videos about writing and storytelling and other creative vlogs. And it is halfway through 2025. At the beginning of this year, I did set up some goals for the year. And I don't know if I've ever done this before, but I was just thinking that it's been a long 6 months since the beginning of 2025. I tried really hard to create goals for myself at the beginning of this year that were going to be actually sustainable, achievable goals rather than just dreaming big and then getting sad when I don't reach those goals, because I do have a habit of dreaming really big, which is not a bad thing, but it is just for the sake of my sanity and my motivation, sometimes it's better to just set smaller goals and check in with myself more often rather than just having big lofty goals without any actual steps to reach them. With all of that in mind, I wanted to kind of go through my 2025 goals that I came up with, and I wanted to check in. I want to see how they're going. I want to kind of discuss where I've maybe shifted goals a little bit, which you already know partially where I have done so. Yeah, so at the beginning of this year, I put together a Notion board for my 2025 goals. As you can see, and maybe I'll put this up on the screen as well, things that I wanted to kind of use as an intention going into the new year was creation over consumption. So I wanted to shift my focus from consuming mostly content focused around art. Not necessarily art, still very happy to consume art, but I think I wanted to have more of a balance between my creativity and my consumption of creative things, as well as just online content, because I was doing a lot of that. And I'll be totally honest, I do still, especially if I'm stressed out or something, I still have a habit of consuming too much, but I'm working on it. It gets better. I'm more aware of it. I definitely have more limits and stuff for myself when it comes to social media and online content. But I don't think it's something that I'll ever fully cut out permanently, only because I get such a benefit from connecting with other writers and creatives and just adventurous humans online. So I don't think it's something that I'll ever give up fully, but it's definitely been a focus this year to pull back a bit, be a bit more present, and not let the consumption of online content be something that's controlling me rather than me controlling it. So that was a big intention for the year, and one that I do believe that I'm getting better at slowly over time. It's so much better than it used to be. I think the first couple of years of the pandemic, I spent so much time online, and that was just it was not working. So, and now even this week alone, I've been highlining a bunch. If you guys remember, that's a thing that I do occasionally when I'm not terrified of it. I went on a little boating adventure with my friends. I've been spending so much time outside in the mountains. It's been better. It's been good. So, and I've been creating more. I've been painting more, but I've been doing more creative stuff that way. And I've been playing guitar again. I got a new guitar that someone was just giving away on Facebook. So there's definitely been more creation. And I think the more I increase my levels of creation and the more I kind of nourish my creativity, the less consumption I do naturally, because I want to put that energy into creating rather than consuming. So yeah. Sorry, that's a check-in with the intention. I still want to focus on that. I think creation and presence over consumption, but I think it's going well. I also have a quote from the Unpublished podcast that says, taking something seriously does not have to mean going all in. This is also an intention that I've brought into the year, because I, growing up, always had this habit of hyper focusing on something that I was interested in, something I would be stoked about something, and I would just spend all my waking hours, and to be honest, I would stay up all night also focusing on things and just becoming obsessive over one thing and being this is the one thing that I need to achieve and the one thing that I want to work towards in my entire life's purpose. And I would like to say that I think I've definitely been better at being actually, I'm a multifaceted human that does all of these different things, and all of these different things are beneficial to my human experience and the things that I create and the communities that I build and the friends that I make. That was just a little reminder to myself that you can be good at something, you can identify with something, you can consider yourself to be an advocate for something without it consuming your life. And in fact, it's probably healthier if it does not consume your entire life. That is just the check-in for the intentions that I had going into the new year. So then I had sections where I had creativity and writing goals, I had life goals, and I had content creation goals. So let's check in with the content creation and life goals because they're shorter. So for content creation goals, I had 2, which was post YouTube videos once per week and stick to monthly Patreon posts. Obviously, when it comes to posting the YouTube videos once per week, you guys know that as soon as I started that second job and I was working like 50 hours a week, I stopped posting weekly. I think it was like 2 months that I went without posting. So that goal is definitely not, like that's probably one that I will end up changing. In fact, I think I'm gonna add, like, if I want to adjust that goal, I'm gonna add how I want to adjust it. We're halfway through the year, we're checking in. I think it's important to like adjust goals and not be super rigid with them because that's what life is. Life is constant flowing and adaptation, and I think it's important to allow ourselves to be flexible. Reminders for myself. So I'm just gonna add like 6-month check-in updates, I suppose. So now I would like to try to post 2 per month, 1 every 2 weeks or so. And I think that maybe that's gonna make more sense anyways for like the pace of my creative writing and of my projects right now, only because things take a long time. And I don't think I'm like at the position right now to be releasing multiple videos per week. I think that the position I'm in right now is that I need to like hunker down and just like spend some really slow weeks chipping away. And I mean like really small chips, like just little steps here and there. I feel like my community here on YouTube is pretty chill and you don't really care so much if I have like huge word count updates or like breakthroughs or epiphanies every single time I post a video. But lately I've been feeling the pressure of like seeming like I'm being productive every single new video that goes up, and I'm really trying to like focus on just the quiet productivity that's like away from social media, obviously. And with that, I think just doing 2 videos per month, those videos will have more updates in them because the pace is slow right now, if that makes sense. I also said that I was going to stick to monthly Patreon posts. I paused my Patreon for the 2 months that I was super busy, and currently I am still posting on it, but I'm mostly doing like early access. I've been sharing some original writing, like the first chapter of Project Geo is up there, poetry snippets and stuff, since I'm like deep into the poetry collection right now. So I am doing that. I would like to be posting more on there. I have some like resources and stuff that I want to be putting up, but so far monthly Patreon posts is still something that I would like to continue with. Let's look at the life goals. Starting from the top, I had finished my Wim Hof Method Fundamentals course, which is a breathwork course. Wanted to finish it by my birthday. It is not finished. I will restart it soon. It's a weekly course, basically. It's like a 10-week fundamentals course to like understand the method and start to be able to like, not quite be able to facilitate it, but just like have a deeper understanding so that you could guide people and like improve your own practice. So still something I want to do. The good news about something like that is that I have like forever access to that course, so I can always restart it when I want to. Regular exercise and movement 4 times a week or so, pretty much happening, even if it's just like a walk. Although with the summer I've been much more active. I went on like a 12-kilometer trail run / hike the other day. It was beautiful. Like I said, lots of highlining, lots of being outside. I want to do open water swimming, which leads to like the next life goal for the year, which was to get my freediving certification, just like first level. I think I'm going to do this at the end of the year because I'm going to be down in Mexico in October and probably November as well. So I think that it would be very cool to get the freediving certification down in Mexico. Also much warmer water. As we know, I'm pretty happy with cold water, but I think that it would be nice to have some warmer water to do the freediving course in. So now we are at the writing and creativity updates. So let's start with the first one, which is release the, I don't know if I've told you the name of the poetry collection, but this is the short form for it, by August 2025. And I would like to say, still on track. We have over 70 poems, which is what I mentioned. I was aiming for 100. I don't know if it's going to be 100. I have a feeling It's going to be less only because some of the poems in this collection are longer, so they take up more pages, and I don't know if I want like a 150 page poetry collection. We'll see. Though I think I like it when they're small, but right now a lot of the poetry that I'm writing feels like it needs to be a bit longer and a bit more like ballady, if that makes sense. So that is still on track. Finished the outline for one new book. Okay, well, we're kind of working on it. My update is working on it, kind of was done, still doing, because that was Project Geo that I wanted to outline, and or any other book, but Project Geo is obviously what happened. So it's, as you know, I am currently in outline edits now, and we're re-outlining. So I did have a loose outline for it, but we're re-outlining because it needs to be more than it is right now. So still on track, kind of, a little bit delayed, things have shifted, but that's okay. The next check-in is that I wanted to finish draft 4 of Between the Waves by May, so by last month. That did not happen. I have now temporarily shelved Between the Waves, as we know. I will continue it. I'll be totally honest, once a week at least, I have thoughts and feelings around Between the Waves and I want to pull it out and make notes, but I'm just trying to like focus on keeping all those notes condensed into that like note dump, brain dump document, so that when I'm ready to jump back into it, I have all of those. But I've been like wanting to jump back into it lately, but I'm really trying to focus on Project Geo first. So yeah, finished draft 4 by May 2025. Absolutely did not happen. And then read one fiction book per month. Actually, so far so good is the response for that one, because it has been so far so good actually. I'll try and list the books that I've read so far this year, although I don't quite remember, but I'll try and list them. I have been reading pretty much one book per month. I've probably read more than one book per month in the grand scheme of things, and I'm very happy with my reading this year. It's been more than past years, but not so much that all I'm doing is spending my time reading, which is a negative for me. It becomes a little bit too much when I do that. Okay, I also put that I want to complete The Artist's Way, which is not done. That is a 12-week workbook for creatives and artists, and just humans in general. I believe that humans are inherently creative and artistic, so I think anyone can benefit from it. It does a lot of like internal work, just like around why you may be hesitant to create and what kind of blocks you might run into, and it does a lot of like almost like therapeutic work. I would recommend it. I've only gotten halfway through it before, which is why I wanted to finish it this year, but this is okay. We still have time to get through it. And I also wanted to do 3 in-person workshops. I haven't done a workshop yet. However, I am scheduled to run a poetry workshop next month for some friends that have put together kind of like a collective. And they asked if I would be willing to run a poetry workshop. I think it's going to be 2 to 3 hours. I think I'm just gonna like facilitate a safe space and a fun space for people to like explore poetry writing and different types of poetry, using poetry as like an expression for emotions, which is what I use it for. So yeah, I'm excited about that. That's at least one in-person workshop that I'm going to be doing, and then I have the rest of the year to get the other 2. So I'm feeling good about that. I think that's actually the main check-in. I feel really good about these goals that I set for myself. I think that they're attainable. I think that I will be able to reach these goals. And I think like even the ones that are kind of put on the back burner right now, like Between the Waves, like I didn't hit that goal obviously, but I still feel good about where I'm at in that process, which is why I mentioned that I think it's really important to be flexible when it comes to this sort of thing. I hope you enjoyed that check-in. I thought it was cool to kind of go over the goals. I think maybe at some point I'll make new goals, but like for now, I'm happy with the ones that I didn't reach. I'm happy with how I've like, yeah, rearranged my life and like how I've used these intentions and actually applied them to my life. I think it's been really good so far. So yeah, I'm happy with where I'm at, even though it feels like I haven't achieved a lot of these yet. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little check-in video. I thought it would be fun to kind of see like where we're at and where we've come from and what our goals were for the year and like how the intentions are kind of like matching up. And yeah, I'd love to hear what some of your goals are or what some of your new goals are if you've like changed things around. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.